Before I start, I just wanted to say that I wanted to get this video out on that day, but work and things like that kind of got in the way, so I couldn't make it in time. But I wanted to talk about my memories of that day in September 11th of 2001. Just like everyone's story, how they start, it was just a normal day. Early in the morning, I remember I got up for school and I was like maybe 11 years old.
Sorry, the park's closed.
It's closed?
Yeah,
Oh. Alright, thank you.
good night.
I just got kicked out of the park, but I'm not mad. I know it's a little too late to be here. It's 10 o'clock at night. I'm not super mad. I'm not mad at all. Going back to my story, I was about 11 or 12 years old when that happened. I remember getting up and getting ready for school, and I got in the bus and we headed off. And I was going to the middle school at that time. I remember that. I remember that like if it was yesterday. I remember also exactly which class I was in when everything happened. I was in art class. Okay, and I'm like this little kid. I don't know what's going on, but I do remember seeing everybody, like all the adults, huddle up to this one TV in our art class. They were all huddled up to this one TV and looking, and they were staring at it like intently. One lady, I remember, one teacher I remember was crying, and everybody else that was around it was just staring, and they were with their hands like this. And you have to understand, I was like 11 or 12, so I remember when I pushed my way through those teachers that was looking at the TV, I just remember seeing this building, and in my mind as a 11 year old, I was like, man, this movie is really boring. That's what I remember. Then afterwards, I remember all of the students in that class, the teachers told us that we didn't have to do anything for the rest of the day, that we can just go and play. So no work, so no homework, no studying, and we can just do whatever we want throughout the whole entire day. Yes, September 11th, whenever I was a kid, I remember it was one of the greatest days in school. Do not get mad at me, because like I said, I didn't know. I was too young to understand. You know, it started around 9 o'clock in the morning. That's when the planes hit the building. So for me, a little small kid in New Mexico, telling us that we have nothing to do and we could play all day, that was a really great day for me as a kid. I remember getting home that day and nothing on TV was on other than Cartoon Network. I remember that Cartoon Network was on, but every single channel that I changed, everything was showing them buildings. And by this time they had already fallen, but they were re-showing it over and over and over again. And I remember, man, I just really want to watch a cartoon. So I found Dexter's Laboratory. Dexter's Laboratory was my shit at that time, okay? I love that show. Don't talk bad about Dexter's Laboratory. My mom, she had a job and she worked all the time, so whenever I got home, she wasn't there. I just remember me being the only one there. I also remember when my mom got home, it wasn't really a good day for her. And it wasn't because of the tragedy that happened on September 11th, but she was having her own personal tragedy. A tragedy involving my brother, which I will not speak about. My brother is fine. My brother is okay. But this is just a situation that I just can't talk about. So all in all, as a kid, on that day, it wasn't really that bad. It never really hit me just how much of a horrible, horrible situation that was. It never got to me until I was maybe about 16, 17 years old. That's when I started realizing just how bad that day was. And I do remember whenever I was 17, I started researching a lot more about that day and just how horrible it was. But I do know one thing that was actually really great about that day, and on that day is the only time that I remember seeing the whole entire world, not just the United States, but the whole world together for that one moment in unity. Nothing bad happened else that day that I know of. We were all together. That sense of unity is what kept us from falling apart. Is what kept us from being destroyed or destroying each other. That unity is what I want to remember the most about that day.